Odell Beckham got the narrative, diva, dramatic, very charismatic on the sideline, throwing tantrums, kicking the field goal net, then being an on-field and off-field distraction, just a headache. The infamous on a boat pick for right before the playoffs in Green Bay. Just overall, just an annoying person, right? For a lot of people that misunderstood him. And then he gets traded to Siberia, which at the time was Cleveland. And everybody thought, oh my God, they're going to go win a Super Bowl. Oh my God, Jarvis Landry, David Njoku, Austin Hooper, Baker Mayfield. I mean, you name it, they had it on paper. They were projected to go miles beyond their expectations. And in 2.5 seasons, Odell Beckham accumulated 7 touchdowns. Odell Beckham played about 9, 10 games with the Rams this year, 7 touchdowns. Odell Beckham revitalized his career in LA and showed that he still has all of the capabilities to be a number one option, to be a number two option at this maybe stage in his career, because we all know that Cooper Kupp was first. But and also Robert Woods was out with a torn ACL the second he got there, which just was a little too convenient for me, but that's just how it works in life, I guess. Overall, Cleveland, I'm looking at you and I'm looking directly at the camera. How does it feel to know that you let talent like that walk out of your facility with minimal stats? How is it that you back and support Baker Mayfield and say that you were still able to give Odell targets, give him opportunities to succeed? There was no issue between your quarterback and your number one receiver. And yet, Odell Beckham was a non factor in that offense. Odell Beckham was hardly targeted toward the latter half of his career in Cleveland. Was it because he wasn't open? I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure Odell Beckham Sr. was able to shed some light on that and show that his son, in fact, was open in a lot of film and show that his son was actually being mistreated, because there's no reason for an NFL caliber quarterback like Baker Mayfield, that you make him out to be, was going to be able to miss somebody like Odell Beckham open. You're going to tell me that there were no other receivers, or that there were more receivers on that team that were better than Odell? You're going to tell me that Baker Mayfield had no personal vendetta? I don't believe it. There's absolutely no reason. Is Matthew Stafford better than Baker? By miles. Obviously, now he's a Super Bowl champion. But prior to that, it's a whole different magnitude. I'm looking at the Cleveland Browns saying, you wasted 2.5 seasons of Odell Beckham's career and you made him out to be a drama queen and a nutcase, when in reality, when he got there, he basically kept his mouth shut, as opposed to what he was doing in New York. He tried to do his best. He was with his best friend in Jarvis Landry, his college roommate. Obviously, he was trying to do what was best for the team. You don't not target a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL in the second half of the season. You don't not target a person that is a mismatch nightmare against any corner in the NFL. You don't not throw it to a man that demands a double team. But for whatever reason, Cleveland wanted to make it out that it was Odell. It wasn't Baker. That it was Odell and not the offensive play calling. So Cleveland can eat words and Cleveland can eat shit, because Odell Beckham, whether he tore his leg or he tore his leg up or not, he was a contributing factor to the Rams winning the Super Bowl today. And for that, you guys look like a bunch of assholes.
Kevin, I can't really disagree with you on this one. And when you kind of look at the initial hope that Cleveland had when they brought Odell Beckham into the fold, was that there was going to be this huge expectation that they were going to light up the AFC. Baker Mayfield was going to have his premier wideout alongside Jarvis Landry, David Njoku, and Austin Hooper. And they didn't go anywhere with it. And in fact, there was just so much drama stirred up between both Odell Beckham's camp and then the Browns camp. It was just a disaster. And I am glad that Odell was able to kind of get out of that situation, go to a better team, a Super Bowl contending team in the Los Angeles Rams, and show the world what I think a lot of people have thought that he's capable of. But just the situation in Cleveland was so disastrous that you had a lot of people that were basically spectating and thinking that, is Odell washed? Is Odell done? And as far as I'm concerned, what he was able to do the last half of the season and throughout this postseason run for the Rams, guy's in the prime of his career. Now, granted, hopefully that knee injury was not significant, because that would just be brutal for him. But, Odell can live back in Cleveland, give them the middle finger all day. And, bro, he's got a Super Bowl ring to prove it now. So Cleveland just looks like a bunch of idiots. There's no other way of saying it. And it's like what Baker said, the Browns is the Browns, bro. Like, it is what it is. Just, that's what Cleveland is. Cleveland is a
Yeah.
team that is just mired in ineptitude. And I know that they've looked better recently compared to like the last like 20 years or so. But how do you let a premier wide receiver like that just you kind of leave him off to the side, like kind of cast him off as a nobody? You knew what he had, you knew what his skill set was, and you didn't maximize it. It's like you said, the Browns look like idiots,
Bro,
and
in
that's on
two
them.
and
And
a
that's on
half
them.
years,
I know.
you were only able to accumulate 1,586 yards and 7 touchdowns. This man, Odell, was on the Rams for a total of 7 to 8 weeks, not including the playoffs. And he was able to accumulate in just the regular season, excuse me. He played 7 games because the first one he sat out. He got 305 and 5 touchdowns. In the postseason, he was able to accumulate another 2 touchdowns. So you're telling me he has 7 touchdowns in 9 games, 10 games. And in 3 years, you were only able to get him 7. This is what I'm saying, bro. Cleveland needs to look at that front office. Cleveland needs to look at Baker Mayfield and say, damn, we really had one of the best receivers in the league, and we didn't use him. Whether it's scheming against him, using him as a decoy,
And,
he wasn't open. The narrative is
and,
gone now,
and,
bro. Odell Beckham rose right back to the top and looked at them like this.
and not only that, they had one of the best 1-2 running back combos in the league with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. And then you got Jarvis Landry as who's as a solid number 2 wide receiver as you'll find throughout the NFL. I mean, to me, this is more of a reflection on Baker Mayfield than anybody else. Baker's a subpar quarterback. Because you put any other quarterback in that situation that Cleveland has with those players that they had on the roster. You put like Tom Brady in there, you put Matt Stafford, you put like an average to above average quarterback in that situation in Cleveland. That team probably goes to the AFC Championship game and is probably possibly going to a Super Bowl.